So it seems funny to be talking about podcasting on my podcast. Maybe not, but it took me a long time to leap into this whole world of podcasting. I guess I feared the commitment and consistency that it requires. And I didn't want to start something that dropped off after 3 episodes. And I think that that's probably the average, isn't it? I mean, it seems like a great idea until you start doing it. You start with a splash and end with a gurgle when you discover that no one's listening. You know, really, is that not the problem that we face with most of our content? You know, we judge too soon the impact that our creativity can have. And really, we've got to be in this game for the long play. Yeah, because it's the long play that wins the spoils. And podcasting certainly is most often one of those long plays for many would-be presenters, particularly if you've not got a massive platform or a big audience before you begin. You've really got to be ready to kind of strap your boots on and keep moving forward, regardless of the kind of uptake to a degree, and then just allow the audience and allow kind of the results of your podcasting to compound over time as you continue to kind of hone that gift and put your content and share your message out into the world. There's always going to be stories, of course, of people who shot to the top after their first viral episode aired, and but the majority just begin with a seed and then water that talent over time. Consistency, I think, and patience are really the difference makers. The Bible talks about how through faith and patience we inherit the promises, where we want all of the explosive dynamic of faith. But the idea of patience, or as the scriptures call it elsewhere, long suffering, doesn't seem quite so exciting. But there's always the time that you put in. You really got to water your talent with time, and time spent learning, time spent honing, time spent making the mistakes that you learn from and returning to the basics. And this is why I think with a podcast, or indeed any kind of content strategy, you've got to, your chosen subject should be something that you believe in, something that delights you so much you would want to speak about it when no one else is in the room. And so this passion-driven podcasting really boils down your message to something that resonates with others. It can't be so general that it's for everybody, because unless it's neat and niched, it's really for nobody. The more focused you can be on just one or two subjects that really vibrate through your soul, something that really resonates both with you as the host or the speaker and with the people that you're speaking to. For me, it's creativity and faith. Jesus Christ and creativity are two things that I am really utterly obsessed with, if I'm honest. I love to make things. I love to encourage other people to step up and step out and make stuff too, all for the glory of God. And above all of that, my ultimate, my dream, my desire, my destiny is Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus first, everything else follows. So, and so you may have given consideration yourself to starting a podcast. Thankfully, like most things nowadays, when it comes to actually presenting content out to the world and sharing our worth with the world, it doesn't have to be difficult. And in my blog post today, I said, okay, you want to start a podcast? Let me give you the 99-point list of stuff that you need to do before you get started. And I think that this is where a lot of people are in so many, with respect to actually beginning to step out and experiment and try things, is that they think that there's like this huge list of things that have to be done before you begin. But that is just not the truth. I mean, simply like let's just shave off like a good 96, 97 of those points to do and just boil it down to 3. And here's the list. Buy a reasonable USB microphone. There's some links to some suggestions on my website, davidleemartin.com. If you just look for the corresponding article to this podcast on there, it's called Proceed to Podcast. And there's some links there that you can check out as to some very reasonably priced USB microphones that are a place that you could get started. Now, I'm using an XLR mic here, but I certainly I started with a USB mic, and you know the easier you can make things for yourself, the better. It's better to get started imperfectly than never get started because you're waiting for perfection. Sometimes we use kind of the idea that we have to have all of the best equipment before we begin is really just another excuse and another form of procrastination. You know, so get yourself a microphone, plug it into your computer and speak. Those are the 3 things that you really need to do to begin podcasting. And then you can simply use the free software Audacity. Just search for Audacity audio software. It's completely free. You can record your episodes on that, snip the beginning and end if you've got some kind of stumbling around on there, and just don't overthink it. Don't try to make it perfect. Just make it the best you can where you're at right now. I know friends of mine have used a service called Anchor FM, ANCHOR, Anchor, as in an anchor on a ship, FM, to publish their podcast for free. And all of the steps to make that happen are laid out on their website, so you don't have to figure it all out yourself or spend hundreds or thousands of dollars having someone tell you how to do it. You can just go to their website, just follow their instructions and get something up and running almost immediately. I use a service called podcast.co to host my show, similar to Anchor FM, and I just let them take care of the technical side of distribution to the various channels. I'm about to close in actually on 100 episodes. I jumped in, boots and all. I mean, the Holy Ghost prompted me to start a podcast, and you know, I thought about it and all of my fears of failure, and then for whatever reason, I'm kind of racking my brains. How often do I want to do this? So I thought, man, if I'm going to do it, let's just do it. And so I went with a daily podcast. I mean, seriously, what was I thinking? But you know, for you, maybe once a week would be enough. You know, you don't want it to be any less than once a week, really, because, you know, with podcasting, that consistency and being there for people, being there to kind of continue to speak to and lift up the people who listen to you is, I think, an important part of it, that consistency and that regularity. But, you know, so you don't have to do daily, but I would certainly say at the least probably looking at doing something once a week. And, you know, we've all got something worth saying, 15 minutes worth of encouragement for the world once a week, surely. And so here I am closing in on my 100th episode. You know, I'm kind of proud of that. I've not got a big audience. There's like in podcast.co, you've got like a stats kind of that you can click on, and it kind of shows you how many listens you'll get, and then it kind of averages it out and tells you how many listeners you've got. You know, my stats are so unimpressive that you know, I don't even want to share them. You know. But like, so you know, they certainly aren't impressive, you know, but you know, you should be impressed with this. You know, if I can do this, you can too. You should be impressed by the realization that it does take time to build a following, and touched by the idea that it's not all about impressive stats or magnificent stories of overnight explosive growth or world-shattering success. Sometimes, friend, it's just doing the daily, working the weekly, making the monthly. Daily commitment to your own genius in one way or another. Resolve to connect with the creative calling that you carry and add value and love to other people in whatever way you can. Podcasting is one way that might work for you if you enjoy speaking. If you don't enjoy speaking, don't do it. But let that commitment to your creative call undergird your dedication, and that way you'll be more likely to stay the course. If you've got something to share and say, be bold and say it freely and say it fully. Don't hide behind the idea that you have to have everything in place before you begin. Don't pretend it has to be easy to be worthwhile. Do what you can. Share your heart and your mind in an authentic way, and just keep sharing, keep learning, keep growing. So go for it. Jump over to Anchor FM, or you can check out the service that I use, podcast.co. Anchor FM would maybe be a good place to test out because it's free. You don't have to. There's no commitment there. There's no financial kind of burden that you're going to have to carry to just give this thing a go. And while you're at it, just some of my stats look vaguely more impressive. Do make sure that you subscribe. Get yourself subscribed to this show if you're not already subscribed. I would love you forever. And hey, God bless you. And just keep sharing your worth. Put your value out there where people can enjoy it and benefit from it. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully, it's been an encouragement to you today. If you want to connect any further, you can do so through my website at davidleemartin.com. Have a great day.